Hello, second years. This assignment is called Understand the Requirements of Working to a Brief. You have 5 weeks in your blended learning sessions between the 6th of October and the 10th of November to complete the last bit of criteria for Unit 5 Working to a Brief. Now, Unit 5 Working to a Brief, it's a bit of a strange one because it is a second year unit, but I did it with you in the first year. So for the webisodes project, I combined Unit 5 Working to a Brief, a second year unit, with Unit 30, a first year unit. And I'm not marking it until this last little bit is handed in. So let's have a look. The webisodes project, you handed in LO2, the planning of ideas for the webisode project, the pilot webisode and the viral campaign itself for LO3, and the evaluation for LO4. So LO2, LO3 and LO4 are already submitted. It's just LO1 that needs to be submitted now. I was going to give it to you over the summer, but I refrained from doing that because the first year was a bit difficult in places on all of us. So I thought I'd cut you some slack. So it's going to be used now in your second year blended learning sessions for the first 5 weeks anyway. So Google, our buddies at Google, have asked you to demonstrate how you are ready for work in the creative media sector by creating a little report that demonstrates your understanding of different types of briefs and the opportunities they provide us with in your career. Previous students, I'm teaching this for about 8 years now, this unit. They continuously say this is probably the most important piece of work they do in understanding the way that briefs work in industry in terms of preparing you for real life industry work. Now, the most professional work submitted will receive a reference from me, potential work experience with our friends at Google, and a chance to add our Google for Education partners to your professional network, which is very nice to have under your belt when you are just finishing your college course. Very useful. So, this assignment then is called Understand the Requirements of Working to a Brief. You need to use my site, the BCOT Media site, which will give you links as to what you need, a screencast, the assignment brief, some hyperlinks there as well as a presentation, which will come in very handy. And you need to select either Adobe Spark, which is really nice video or blog, creative, intuitive, drag and drop layout design sort of hub for you to use. Adobe Spark's really nice for presenting your work in a really creative, original way. Great templates to use as a basis as well. I recommend using Adobe Spark. Or Google Slides. So this is Google's version of PowerPoint, which you can embed GIFs, YouTube videos, and hyperlinks in. Really nice. I've also linked you to some nice templates here as well to give it a nice professional sheen. Slides Carnival, free downloadable templates, which is quite nice and slick. Or if you don't want to use Adobe Spark or Google Slides, you may want to just create a really interesting vlog using YouTube. So you can vlog your response. Building those communication skills that I value so much in you, and recording yourself talking to camera, perhaps illustrating your points with images and GIFs and videos, up to you entirely. So 3 choices: Adobe Spark, Google Slides, or YouTube. Use it as a tool to help you create your report that demonstrates how well you understand the following. There are 4 points. There's structure of briefs, reading a brief, negotiating the brief, and opportunities. The first bit is structure of briefs. Asks you to tell me about these different types of brief that you're likely to encounter in industry. I've listed them here for you. My website may be useful here. There's a very sparsely populated, simplistic, minimal presentation. I've tried not to give you too much information here, but certainly the brief overview of what each brief is here for you to have a look at. Tell me what the different types of brief are, but as it says here, analyse them as well. What are the pros and cons of each type of brief you're likely to encounter in industry? The second part is reading a brief. Demonstrate you understand the nature of the 3 briefs that I've given you in envelopes in your blended learning sessions. Now, in your blended learning sessions, I've given your facilitators 3 envelopes, labelled 1, 2, and 3. Tell me, in these envelopes, which brief is which? What are they? So what I mean by that is, are they contractual briefs? Are they competition briefs? Are they cooperative briefs? Commissions? What's the nature of them? What have you got to do? What's it demanding of the actual person who's undertaken the brief? what they've got to do, what's expected of them for each brief. Bit of analysis is needed from you there. They'll be in your blended learning sessions. Negotiating the brief is the third part. So, made a little video consultation here. Mike put this together for you. A video of him talking about different types of briefing industry and what you need to do to satisfy what the client wants. Quite lengthy, but you'll find some interesting points from James here, who's also offering work experience in terms of graphic design and video work locally as well. Password for that video is bcot123 once you log into Vimeo. Provide an example of how you have taken a degree of discretion. Now, discretion means showing good judgments, being conscious of the morals and ethics of a choice or a decision, not causing offence to someone, using your intuition, using your wits to interpret an assignment brief. So that may be talking about how you created a piece of work. For example, the Webisodes project itself. I asked you to create an original online TV show. What did you do to create a webisode project? You showed some discretion in creating your idea. How was it morally and ethically correct? Was it avoiding copyright issues? Was it not infringing upon anybody's intellectual property? Was it being conscious of what you should and shouldn't do in terms of Ofcom and the ASA? Tell me what you did with your Webisodes projects, and that will more than likely provide a very good response to this bullet point here. What discretion did you take when interpreting the brief? Explain to me the constraints you may have encountered when working to a briefing industry. So, legal issues, ethical issues, the right and wrong thing to do. What codes of practice have you had to abide by? Regulatory framework. So again, this ties neatly into this bullet point here. You can put your answer together by all means. Working to a deadline. What constraints have you encountered? Working with minimal budget, working to what a client is asking you to do, even though it may not be what you want it to be. Technical resources, things going wrong with software or hardware, cameras. What other constraints? Constraints are things that hold you back. What constraints have you encountered when working on a project? The last bit's opportunities. So identify for me opportunities for self-development, continuing professional development that working on different briefs could present you. So in industry, you work to briefs. I mean, you work whether it be an email to you, whether it be an informal verbal brief, whether it be something sent to you as an official document. You fulfill these briefs and you get paid. What different opportunities are there for self-development that you could encounter working on different briefs? What new skills are there for you to learn working on new projects? Multi-skilling, juggling different things at the same time, which is the norm in industry, hence why we give you different briefs at the same time on our course to prepare you for that, because that is what industry is like. Tell me what opportunities there are for you to contribute to the project brief alongside the client in terms of managing your time. What do you want to develop in your career, I suppose, is what the question is asking you to answer. What do you want to develop in your career? What new skills, what opportunities are there for you in life, in industry, in your course now, but beyond that as well? Once complete, your Adobe Spark presentation, Google Slides presentation, or YouTube presentation report needs to be uploaded to Google Classroom. This covers Unit 5 LO1. So in doing that, in submitting your report to Google Classroom, you're going to have achieved Unit 5 in its entirety. Now, you can use Twitter to contact me, our Facebook group, the BCOT Media site, a couple of textbooks here which may be useful, and the employers who are overseeing this project are Google themselves, who are going to be available as industry contacts for those who are successful and do good work on this. And it's due in a minute before midnight on the 10th of November. I'll give you my feedback in this box underneath here. You'll be passed merit or distinction. Any questions, please let me know. Past level learners will describe, give me the bare minimum of the 4 points I just outlined. Merit will explain, give examples, back up with illustrative points. Distinction level learners will cover everything I've just gone through with really detailed responses and applying it to industry examples. Any questions, please contact me. Also, remember I'm on Hangouts. Contact me if you've got any questions at all.